And today's question comes from Amy, and Amy writes, Dear Lori, my 9-year-old son has a problem with lying lately. I know that he's been drawing on his bedroom walls and furniture. He's an incredible artist. But he refuses to stop, and even after being caught, he denies it and tries to blame it on his brothers. I try to empathize with him, and I know that he's really passionate about his art, but I also let him know that he needs to tell the truth if we can ever trust him. I'm afraid that this behavior is going to escalate because it seems that he's starting to ignore everything I ask and lie about it. No taking away of his things seems to help. It doesn't even faze him. He just nonchalantly refuses to admit things. What can I do? All right, Amy, before you start to go off and dwell in that fear of your son becoming a compulsive liar, which for some reason is a really huge trigger for a lot of parents, lying just seems to trigger us into this whirlwind of emotions that can keep us focused on the wrong goal at the detriment of the opportunity for growth that's before us. So know that you have a choice here. No, but you do have to decide what's really important to you and then reevaluate whether your approach is moving you toward those goals or away from them. For example, if you focus on getting your child to simply fess up to the truth, you increase the negative tension between you. Getting caught in a lie and then being interrogated or forced to admit to it may seem like a logical discipline step that would promote prevention simply through the shame of being caught. But really, is that what you want? A child who feels shame and fear? This is more likely to actually increase the lying because shame interrupts our ability to be mindful and consider our actions. This approach creates a sense of fear in children who are still learning to manage their impulses and who are prone to take risks and also very sensitive to what we think of them. If you think your son has done something wrong and then you ask him to associate himself with that wrong that you so openly disapprove of, he is naturally going to run in the other direction. Lying is a survival skill. He's lying out of fear and he's shutting down to avoid displeasing you yet again. So if you already know the truth, what does this really gain you? I think that when we force our kids to admit to their mistakes, our intentions are honest. We want to ensure that they learn to reflect on their actions. But think about it, Amy. Can your son really reflect on his actions under that kind of scrutiny or under the pressure of having to admit his failure to you? Is that the brain state that you're really after? Right? Kids can't change their perspective or their behavior when they are feeling bad or guilty or like they've disappointed us. So your goal needs to be to move your son into this place of reflection by avoiding engaging his survival brain. And shame and a negative sense of self are internalized when we focus on our kids' faults. So give your kid the benefit of the doubt. Instead of saying, tell me the truth. Did you or did you not draw on your dresser drawers? Or, you aren't telling me the truth, so you can't be trusted with the art supplies. Instead of going that route, which is likely to lead to denial because a child will resort to those limited perspective survival skills like lying when he's faced with that fear of a threat. And in that place of fear, our teachable moment is lost, right? As we're further disconnected from each other. Right, so try and let go of your fear about how this behavior could escalate and just stay in the moment. Try something like, you seem to need more and more space to express your art. Or something like, I noticed that you used your new sketching pencils to draw some pictures. And then acknowledge. I know that we talked about this, so you must have been feeling, pretty excited about what you were drawing to not have stopped and think about where it was okay to draw. Or I'm trying to understand, are you needing some more control over how you decorate your room? You can state your limits. You may not draw on the walls or on the furniture, but you may draw on paper, or we can get some new canvas boards to hang up in your room if you like. We'll have to clean this up. I'm going to help you. I'm going to get some soap and water. Would you like to use a bucket and a rag or the spray bottle? If your child protests or the behavior repeats, look to see where there are other power struggles and identify how you can create a stronger relationship. Instead of how dare you draw on the furniture again, we have been over this, try to investigate what's actually motivating this behavior. Try something like, hey buddy, I noticed some drawings on the wall again. I'm thinking that you didn't forget this time, but maybe that you're trying to tell me something and maybe I haven't been listening. Maybe you're working a lot, or acknowledge that I know I've been asking a lot of you lately. I guess maybe I didn't notice how that makes you feel. Or I'm wondering if you would like me to ease up on telling you how to arrange your room or what to do. I'd like to hear what's going on for you if you're willing to share with me. Or it confuses me when you don't keep our agreements, and I'm wondering if by not listening to me, you're trying to tell me that maybe you wished I could listen to you more. When you need to set up and enforce limits, do it kindly. You can do it without setting yourself up as someone to argue with by requiring that your children assist you by telling the truth or cleaning this mess up. You can say, since you're having some trouble keeping our agreement, you're going to have to use the art supplies when I'm home and when I can supervise, because I want to help you with this limit. I know that you don't intend to mark up your walls, but you're having some trouble. Trust that even if the behavior repeats, that each time you engage your child from a place of believing in him rather than showing him how disappointed in him you are, that you enhance his growth and his potential to succeed. Your disappointment in him doesn't teach consequences, but I can tell you that your faith in him will. You can help your child learn to be responsible for his actions, and he can still experience the natural consequences without adding all of the guilt and the shame and the judgment that we tend to rely on when we're triggered by our children's behavior, such as lying. By non-judgmentally observing what you see and then seeking a solution that works to support your child rather than punish him with shame and consequences, then you will teach him not only right from wrong, but that you are a reliable source of support to help him work through his mistakes. So Amy, that was my teachable moment for you. I hope that you found some valuable insight into your son's challenges, and please do let me know by emailing me or sharing your family's progress in the comments below. And if you are out of ideas, ready for change, and want a chance to connect with me and tons of other like-minded parents every month, you want to check out my 8-week online parenting e-course, Peaceful Solutions for Parents and Kids. We are starting this week on Thursday for 50 days of conscious parenting transformation. All right, and now I want to hear from you guys. I want to know, have you ever been triggered by your child or by someone else lying? Have you ever tried to stand your ground and demand the truth? What emotional memory or belief is that trigger connected to for you? Knowing your triggers and heading them off is really how you dissolve the fear and the panic that rises up in you when your child emphatically insists, "I didn't do it." Thank you so much for watching, everybody. And if you want these weekly tips delivered to you, make sure you subscribe to updates and they will be delivered straight to your inbox. Until next time, please remember it's about consciousness, not perfection.